Hello, how are you? My name is Flossie. Oh, I don't need to say that anymore, do I? Because of that. I hope you are doing well. We are going to come clean today on the Great Jelly Library. Yes, I'm going to spill the beans. Spill them beans. Them beans. Okay, so here we go. I have a confession to make. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about this, and then I'll tell you the confession. I won't make you, I won't string you along and make you wait till the end or anything like that. I'm going to tell you relatively fast what it is. But I feel like I have to tell you this in order to tell you the confession, to confess the confession. Okay, so I have been in a reading slump, and my last video, I said I hadn't picked a book up in 9 days. Well, luckily, after that, I was able to get back into the swing of things because I had something to look forward to in the future. But until that happened, I, needed to find a way to get back into this reading. And so I picked a book off the shelf, and that wasn't it. And then I picked a book that I really thought I would get into, and that wasn't it. My mind right now is in a dark place. So sometimes I like to read romance. Sometimes I like to read, very rarely, sci-fi. Sometimes I like to just read a lighthearted comedy or something like that, a memoir, something like that. But sometimes I like true crime, and sometimes I like to go horror in that direction. And so I picked up this book called Devil House, and I thought maybe that would, be it. But it wasn't, because it was fiction. And I am a fiction reader, but I prefer nonfiction, and I think that's where my mind is right now. That's definitely where my mind is right now. It's lingering in nonfiction. I am needing something nonfiction. But guess what? I tried a third book, and it was very, very close to nonfiction. So as I started to read the cover, I would, that just might do the trick. And then I started to read a little bit about this book. Annabelle, Esther, Tanya, and Chloe are best friends, or were as children. They drifted apart in adulthood, but shared secrets have kept them bonded for better or worse, even as their childhood dreams haven't quite turned out as they'd hoped. Then one day they receive a wholly unexpected invitation from another old friend. Poppy Greer has invited them all to her extravagant bachelorette party, 3 days of white sand cocktails and relaxation on a luxe private island in the Bahamas. But here's the thing. These 4 friends weren't exactly nice to Poppy. They accepted her into the group, but they teased her quite a bit. So, as I started to begin to read, I got hooked right off the bat. And by 3 chapters in, I knew this was the book for me. So I am reading this, and now I have to roll through this like a bolt of lightning because of the confession that I am going to reveal right now. Here we go. The Read What You Own challenge. I'm out. No, I can't quite say that I'm out. I'm not out. I'm going to read what I own. I absolutely am. But here's the thing. I'm not supposed to buy any books until I've read X amount of books. And my X equals 100. And that is a lot of books for me, because I typically read about 58, 60 books a year. I once read 98, but let me tell you, it took every single free moment that I had. And I just don't want to obligate myself to that kind of pressure. I want to live a life. I want to do other things. Now, I can continue on with this Read What You Own challenge, and it might take me a year and a half, maybe 2. I don't know. But you know what? Life is short, and this is my life, so I get to call the shots, so I am going to buy books. But listen, I am not going to go out there like a banshee just putting all these books in my cart. I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to continue to read what I own 99% of the time. My birthday is coming up, and I love to buy books. And last year I was treated to something so wonderful. My husband took me away on a short little getaway, and we ate salad outside of a restaurant on the sidewalk, which was like lovely. Well, it was a sidewalk and then an extended sidewalk, and then a brick road, and then like this fine arts fiesta was going on, and I had some wine, and I don't drink a lot, so I got a buzz pretty quickly, and then we headed to the bookstore, and I'm not gonna lie, the books that I buy when I'm buzzed are not the books that I'm going to buy when I am sober. So I might have a little bit more fun. I love to buy books, but I might have a little bit more fun buying those books with a buzz. Which, don't do that at home, kiddies. I mean, once in a while, but yeah. So anyways, I had such a great time. I want to do that again, and I want to do that every year for my birthday. So I'm going to buy books for that occasion. Also, I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. So I don't listen to the news. I try to just stay in my happy little lane here. But once in a while, I just catch, wind of something. And I caught wind of this. And I think I kind of knew about this subject a little bit when it was going on, but I didn't delve into it. I just kept trucking along with my business. But for some reason, I'm halted, and I am so interested, and I am there for it, and I am late to the party, but I don't care. Not so late because of her daughter, who just came out with a book. Some of you might, the light bulb might be going off and going, I think I know what she's talking about, and some of you might not have a clue. But anyways, I'm putting my book of Stoicism up there. This is like a ranty video, but I'm listening to and reading Stoicism, in between. But let's get to that book that I had to buy books from Book of the Month. I heard about this book, and I didn't pay attention to it. Not at all. It's called My Mother's House, right? And I didn't want to read something. I kind of prejudged it, and I didn't want to read something like that. But even though I'm not buying my subscription books, Book of the Month, I like to see what I'm missing out on before I hit cancel my subscription for this month. But when I read my options, that was the book that I didn't want to read that I so want to read now. So I had to order from Book of the Month, and that's what got me thinking, let's do this challenge, but let's do it reasonably for me. I love the premise that we're reading those books that we buy because I absolutely want to, but I don't want to miss out on life either. So I'm not going to be I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, but once in a while, I am going to go astray. All right, so I'm not going to really tell you what these books are about because I want to get to the book that I want to get to. So I had to order from Book of the Month. Now, I'm not going to show what I bought. I always buy 5 books, but I'm not going to show you what I bought in this video. I will do that in a video very, very soon because I am just so excited to read what this young lady has to say. I could only imagine. God love her. God bless her. And, she had the strength and the power to go against her mother and put it out there as she sees it. The house of my mother. So I was wrong. I quoted it wrong. I thought it was my mother's house or in my mother's house, but it is the house of my mother. Okay. A Daughter's Quest for Freedom by Shari, Frankie. Now, sometimes I hear people online saying Frankie. Sometimes I hear them saying Frank. I'm going to go with Frankie. All right.
I actually don't remember the exact moment when the cameras first started rolling. All I know is that one day we were just a regular family going about our lives. The next, there was a janky camera constantly pointed in our direction, documenting our every move for the consumption of strangers on the internet. As the numbers climbed, a nagging thought kept creeping into my mind. Surely at some point people would get bored of this. Surely one day this would all end and our lives could go back to normal. Little did I know then that normal was a luxury we had already left far behind.
Now listen, that was from chapter 9, and that might not have caught your attention, but this surely will.
From the eldest child, Shari Frankie, the shocking true story behind the viral 8 passengers family vlog and the hitting abuse she suffered at the hands of her mother, and how, in the face of unimaginable pain, she found freedom and healing. Shari Frank's childhood was a constant battle for survival. Her mother, Ruby Frankie, enforced a severe moral code while maintaining the facade of a picture-perfect family for their wildly popular YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, which documented the day-to-day life of raising 6 children for a staggering 2.5 million subscribers. But a darker truth lurked beneath the surface. Ruby's wholesome online persona masked a more tyrannical parenting style that anyone could have imagined. As the family's YouTube notoriety grew, so too did Ruby's delusions of righteousness. Fueled by the sadistic influence of relationship coach Jody Hildebrandt, together they implemented an inhumane and merciless disciplinary regime. Ruby and Jody were arrested in Utah in 2023 on multiple charges of aggravated child abuse. On that fateful day, Shari shared a photo online of a police car outside their home. Her caption had one word: finally. For the first time, Shari will reveal the truth behind 8 Passengers and her family's devastating involvement with Jody Hildebrandt's cultish life coaching program, Connections. No stone is left unturned as Shari exposes the perils of influencer culture and shares for the first time her battle for truth and survival in the face of her mother's cruelty.
You might have seen that clip of that young little boy, I think he was 10, Ruby's son, who escaped with tape bandages around him and flesh wounds that were so bad you could actually smell them. He did escape, and he got to a neighbor's house where this gentleman called 911 to get him help, and you could see the video of I don't know if it was this gentleman's wife or another neighbor or what, giving some aid to this little boy. He was dehydrated, he was hungry, so she was giving him comfort and food and water while we waited for help to come. But you could hear the gentleman's voice cracking. He's beginning to cry at what he's actually seeing and having to report. So it's a heart-wrenching story. There is absolutely nothing funny about this, but I love psychology and how the mind works and how one could just blatantly go on camera and just be a totally different entity than what they actually are. And then how do you do that to the people that you love? Even if if they were strangers, they don't deserve that kind of treatment. How do you actually do that and then live with yourself? What goes on in that mind? So that's what I'm really interested in knowing. The deeds that were done and how she was, even though this is not a psychological book, I'm going to take it, at face value and read between the lines. And how Ruby was actually able to commit these violent and vulgar and disgusting acts to her very own flesh and blood, her very own children, who she's supposed to, love and respect and just want nothing but the best for. It's a cruel world out there, but sometimes I guess it's even crueler inside, inside your house, your own little world. So I am going to read that. I'm going to read this one, get to this fairly quickly. So I'm going to have to read at lightning speed to get these 2 books, because I don't want to put that one down because I am enjoying it. So that'll just make me read that and enjoy that all the more quicker. And I don't like to do that, but I do like to do that when I have an all-star lineup. Boom, boom. Until we meet again, know that I love you. What are my words of wisdom? What are my words of wisdom? I don't know. And so I don't have my little thingamajig journal up here. So I have to wing it off of the top of my head. And I don't know how good I am at that. But luckily, saved by the day. She quietly expected great things to happen to her, and no doubt that's one of the reasons why they did. Zelda Fitzgerald. Toodles!